Tuesday, May 21st. It is a beautiful 77 degrees out here today. A little warm for my taste, so I'll be sweating my ass off this entire video. Go! But, sorry I have been away for a bit. One thing after another kept preventing me from getting out here, not to mention the tons of rain we've gotten over the past month. But as you can see, being gone a month and getting tons of rain during that period, everything is green once again. Of course, they spray first and then it rains, so that's always fun. Huh? But lots going on, of course, and most recently, which struck my fancy, is the lame excuse being given for the entire Iranian presidential cabinet being wiped out in a fog storm.
Suddenly, out of the night, the fog rolled in. For a moment, they could see nothing, not a foot ahead of them. And then they saw a light. My God, it was a fire burning on the shore, strong enough to penetrate the swirling mist. He steered a course toward the light, but it was a campfire like this one. The ship crashed against the rocks. The hull sheared in two, the mast snapped like a twig, and the wreckage sank with all the men aboard.
At this point, there is no evidence of foul play. It looks like an accident.
As suddenly as it had come, the fog lifted, receded back across the ocean, and never came again.
Yeah, that's what it was. Fog, yeah. A matter of convenience, I'm sure, for one party or another. But people really have no idea how hot this war is going to heat up after this quote-unquote election occurs in November. It is going to get crazy. And in the interim, all kinds of hidden behind-the-scenes moves being done by governments all around the world to bring us more and more closer to a centralized, digitized, tracked, traced, and surveilled hell of a future, otherwise known as tyranny. We can start with this, which I found rather interesting. This guy takes his car in to be serviced, or whatever, and of course it's one of these GPS hooked up to the internet cars. And they update the map, and he gets home and looks at the new terms and conditions because they have been updated. And here's what he found.
Government's remote control of car use installed on my car with no informed consent. I bought a Hyundai Kona EV 18 months ago, 71 plate, from a dealer. The car went in for a maps upgrade and came back as a write-off for me. They took the opportunity to upgrade the Blue Link infotainment software, and when I started it up, I was presented with a new screen saying terms and conditions changed. I was bored that day, so I flicked down a few pages and was about to jump out when I read it was now equipped with geofencing and geotiming capabilities. We're talking about anything with an SOS button. My wife's car is a 2016. They can set range limits and time limits remotely. The terms say it's not used without consent unless required by law. The last sentence voids the whole thing.
Yes, geofenced, because that is the point of these electric cars. It's to be able to shut down areas that they don't want people to go to to be able to shut down vehicles of people they want to shut down, and to limit the idea of free travel in and of itself, you know. Here you got one of the cars reporting a driver's habits in the moment to their insurance company.
So is your car possibly spying on you? There's a new report on a major car company collecting data on your driving habits, and the information could be driving up your insurance rates. ABC's Derek Dennis explains.
This morning, driver beware. Your car could be recording how you drive, your speed, or any hard braking, and then transmitting that data to an information clearinghouse. The New York Times report that data clearinghouse, LexisNexis, is working with insurance companies, and their collaboration could drive your insurance rates higher. The data collection was uncovered by drivers using General Motors OnStar service, which is traditionally used to make an emergency call. The owner of the Chevy Volt told the Times he uncovered a 258-page report on his personal driving habits after he asked about a more than 20% increase in his insurance rate. His insurance company told him to check his LexisNexis file.
And then he gets a bill with a 21% or something increase. No! Oh, yeah. Future looks great. And of course, I laugh at it because I have to, because it's so fucking stupid. As I always say, only the narratives are comical. The events themselves are tragic, and they are getting more and more tragic by the moment. If you would like to see an example of what a tracked and traced and surveilled social credit system looks like when it comes to purchasing or things or living in the world, take a look at China.
So the latest in this dystopian outrage that is now all of China apparently is I once again cannot buy food. A couple days ago, my uncle and my cousin helped me get a cell phone that is linked to a Chinese bank card so that I could buy anything. But now, apparently, it has been flagged for some reason. I have to pass facial recognition identity verification, which is insane, because all I want to do is just spend my gift card balance on this debit card. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have to open my mouth. Oh my god. Terrifying. And of course, because it was my cousin who set this up for me, I did not pass verification. I guess it's a good thing that the Chinese app is not racist. But now, I once again can't buy anything.
Doesn't that just seem lovely? And of course that is the plan. But first they have to get us all to hate each other, kill each other, go to war with each other, and move in all these migrants all over the Western countries to create clashes between cultures and poverty and chaos. And they're doing that, of course, here in this country, and they're doing that in many countries. So, what else is going on? Our lovely President Biden used the language climate emergency recently. And of course, this is the language used to be able to do whatever the government wants to do or feels it needs to do during a declared quote-unquote emergency, just like we went through back in 2020. You fuck! Which is why all of that groundwork was laid.
The White House telling Fox Business it's now considering declaring a national climate emergency. But that's a climate crisis to you, Mark. The AP, which sets the standards for newsrooms across the country, they're urging Americans to use the term climate crisis.
What a load of shit.
This is all troubling, but if the president declares a climate emergency, what impact does that have?
Hi, primitive
Well, I mean,
here.
this is the serious story of the today. NBC News has reported that if Joe Biden declares a national climate emergency, he would have COVID-like powers under that emergency, and they also compared the emergency powers to the 9/11 emergency powers. The Center for Biological Diversity has estimated Joe Biden would get about 130 wartime-like powers by which to bypass democracy and impose the Green New Deal on America without a single vote of Congress. This is truly this is a Halloween story, not a story for Earth Day. This is a truly frightening story, and he might just be desperate enough to do it. This is being widely reported in the media. The Biden White House is leaking this out. This might happen, and this is going to give Joe Biden these kind of, you want to say the word, dictatorial powers. He doesn't need no stinking democracy to impose the Green New Deal if he does this.
The whole box, less than a guy driving a truck anyway, knocked down a whole bridge and the whole box, 4 lanes of the highway. We consecrated.
Anyway, these are the reasons they're going to push for these stupid, horrific electric vehicles that are way worse for the environment than any kind of combustion engine. And the climate emergency, of course, will be the excuse. I mean, look at how stupid people are.
Famous document is about the rule of
yes,
law.
Yes, can you come to...
And standing up against it.
Yes, I'm receiving over.
Stop.
Yes, yes, can you come to my cut over?
We must just stop oil.
It's more of that. I'm on my way. Can you stop filming, please?
I mean, look, you have to laugh at it because, what else can I say? You just saw that, So, I mean, speaking of the digital world, how many people wear these smartwatches? Do you know the amount of radiation that thing gives off? It's pretty scary, The even worse thing that a lot of people do is wear them ear pods. Do you know that the amount of power coming out of those things is equal to 2 Wi-Fi routers? The amount of frequencies that are coming out of those ear pods, those wireless ear pods, are the amount of 2 Wi-Fi routers each.
The brain's divided into 3 parts: forebrain, midbrain, and hyperthalamus sensory switchboard regulates the sleep and wake. Limbic system regulates fear, drives emotions. Hippocampus, amygdala, hypothalamus.
Each. That's like walking around with 4 Wi-Fi routers strapped to your head. I mean, people need to start waking up to these things.
He ain't lying.
You can do things, like not buy those things, not use those things, not help them. You got Biden talking about digital IDs now and implementing the usage of digital IDs. So when you go to the airport and they want to take a picture for facial recognition purposes, you have the right to decline.
TSA now accepts digital ID. the more convenient and secure way to prove your identity when traveling.
Nod.
It's already in several states and counting. So you can use approved digital IDs at select TSA security checkpoints, including TSA pre-check lanes, simply by scanning your QR code.
I am very happy to be here!
Or tapping your phone. Your photo is taken and compared to your picture on your ID, and you're off to security screening. Simple as that. Now, you still need to carry a physical ID and present it if asked. But if you'd like to stay a step ahead with a smart idea that's at your fingertips, use an approved digital ID at TSA security checkpoints and take the next step towards smoother travels. Learn more at tsa.gov/digital-ID.
It's not a law. He didn't make a law. He just said it. So if you are in line at an airport and you see everyone getting their picture taken, just tell them you refuse. They won't even give you a hard time because they know they can't do it. It's just people letting them do things without question, without fear or concern, and realization that the people behind the governments that are in bed, these corporations that are in bed with the governments, these world leaders that are all tied into each other, all being overseen by this centralized global technocratic bunch of fucking idiots, unelected idiots. They're evil people. So let's not put ourselves in positions to allow them to make us eat the bugs and be happy with nothing. And let's beat them at their own game by becoming aware of what they're doing, not complying with our own enslavement, and just say no to all this horse shit. Anyway, I suppose I will leave it there for the week. I am beginning to melt, so I will end my ramblings. But as always, I hope all is well. It's good to be back, and we will see you on the next one. Get learning, get speaking.
What would you do if you were asked to give up your dreams for freedom? What would you do if asked to make the ultimate sacrifice? Would you think about all them people who gave up everything they had? Would you think about all them who wanted us? And would you start to feel bad? Isn't free. It costs folks like you and me. And if we don't all chip in, we'll never pay that bill. Freedom isn't free. No, there's a hefty thugging fee. And if you don't throw in your $1.05, who will? What would you do if someone told you to fight for freedom? Would you answer the call or run away like a little pussy?
Hey, can you hear me? Can you see? There's a storm